Valley Club, Odin, Gladiator, and GORR the God Butcher all confirmed coming to Marvel Strike Force. What team could they possibly be on? What mode could they possibly use for? We're discussing all of this in this video, and it is Monday, so we're answering your questions for the mailbag. And if you're ready for all of that and more, then Valley Club, you know what to do. Find that like button and let's go smash it. And welcome back to the ValleyFlyin channel. I am ValleyFlyin, and I hope you're having a great day. In this video, we're going to talk about Odin, GORR, Gladiator, and what else is coming to Marvel Strike Force. But before we get to all that and your mailbag questions, if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button for more great Marvel Strike Force content. We have at least 5 Marvel Strike Force videos per week on this channel with reviews like this, gameplay videos, question and answer videos, everything about your experience in Marvel Strike Force. But without further ado, let's talk about the new loading screen that just dropped in Marvel Strike Force. This went out earlier today via some over-the-air changes, meaning some players have this in their live game and some don't. But if you don't have this in your live game yet, you should be getting this soon. And as you can see, Odin right here, GORR the God Butcher right here, Gladiator right here. We also have Black Panther, Shuri, Giant Man, aka Hank Pym, Captain Britain, Wolverine, Deadpool, and Thanos all in here with this cosmic type background. Let me know what you think this team could be for as we go to marvelwiki.com or marvel.fandom.com and check out some previous teams that Odin may be on, and it could be an original team in Marvel Strike Force. If we look at this and check out some history of Odin in the comics, as far as his affiliation teams, obviously he is an Asgardian, Agents of Wakanda, an advisor, formerly part of the Lost Gods, also formerly part of the Avengers of the Stone Age, and Council of the Godheads. Let me know where this Odin reveal is leading you to as we go to GORR and check out some teams that GORR was on previously. Formerly the leader of the Black Berserkers and an unnamed tribe, no other affiliations listed on this site. And last but not least is Gladiator, aka Collark. And as far as his teams and affiliation, the Annihilators, the Galactic Council, Imperial Guard, formerly Dark Guardians, Guardians of the Galaxy, possibly Heralds of Galactus. So lots of possible teams. Maybe one of these teams that they're all going to be affiliated with could be some original Marvel Strike Force team. Let me know your thoughts on this, and let me know what game mode you think this team is going to be used in. Well, let's move on to your mailbag questions of the week, and big shout out to everybody that left a mailbag question here. And if you want to get one of your questions featured on one of these mailbag videos, make sure you are a member of Discord. The link is down below. Go to the mailbag channel question to ask your question there. But what is up, Valley? Can Black Panther Shuri sub in on the War Dogs in War? And I'm gonna say, yeah, Black Panther Shuri, you can sub her in from one of these other Wakandans here. I don't think you want to sub her in for Black Panther or Black Panther 1MM, but if you would want to fit her into this team, I think you could maybe go with Okoye or Nakia as a replacement. Let me know your thoughts on where you would use War Dogs, but you definitely can use Black Panther Shuri on this team. The War Dogs, the Wakandas, they're not really in the meta right now in Crucible or War, so I think you're safe to slot her in if you want to use one of these other characters somewhere or don't want to put a lot of investment in these characters. Hey again, Valley, this is the follow-up question, by the way, so I'm almost level 70. I think that might help. I don't see Super Skrulls, Old Man Logan's. I do see Black Knight, so this may help. As for offense, I have Extreme on defense. So I don't think Extreme is a great defense, but then again, thinking about Arena, no defense can really hold. You're just making it a lot easier for your opponents, putting Extreme on X-Men. But as far as what you were using, as far as your previous question, Robbie Reyes, the Eternals, Emma, Vulture / Kang. So I think with Old Man Logan, that you may struggle. You may want to try to bring in some big-time Spider-Man to deal with some Black Knights that you may face. Before the Old Man Logan meta arrived in Arena, one of the ways that you could counter Black Knight is by using big-time Spider-Man. Also, Void Knight is a nice counter for some Black Knights that you may see. Other characters, I think it will be determined on who else is in Arena right now, because ever since Black Knight came to the game, there is one Arena counter for every single defense. There's not really a standard cookie cutter counter. So yes, your team with the Eternals, Robbie, Emma, and Vulture / Kang will win against some teams. Not sure about the Black Knight team, but depending on who your opponent has on defense, that team can be very, very good. Valley, could you ask the devs about costumes? It seems like they haven't added a new one for purchase in a while. Yeah, and I think the last one they added, they didn't even make it on sale. And it may not be the last one added, but I don't think they've ever sold the Doctor Strange costume, the Defender's costume for Doctor Strange. But I don't think I've gotten a lot of costume credits to buy anything. I think I've had 44,000 for a long time. I think they've stopped rewarding a lot of these extra bits here to give you extra costume credits. I think it's kind of an experiment that they wanted. I think it's a cool thing to bring other looks for different characters in the game. But as far as the dev hours to make these costumes and their return on investment of players that are actually increasing their engagement for costumes, or players that were actually buying costumes or costumes credits, I don't think they got a big return on their investment. So they may have just kind of stopped with releasing costume. Like I was saying, this Doctor Strange costume, not the Defender's costume, I'm talking about this Multiverse of Madness costume, never released in the game as far as I know. So kind of strange that they would use all these dev hours to make this costume and never have it for sale, never released. I think that's something they just forgot as they're focusing on other things, new player experience, and then handling a lot of the criticism that they've had recently. Hello, Valley. Recently, my alliance got to the boss node in Spotlight 1-2. Talk about tough. What team/teams do you recommend for taking it down? And getting a little annoyed, Spider Society and War, do you have some good counters for them? Yes, and we also have an answer down below as well. But let me give you my take on both of these questions. So as far as these Spotlight raids, honestly, I don't know. If we go into my raid right now, this raid just pretty much launched, and the lane that I normally do is on this far side. As you can see, it's all completed. The boss for the Alpha Flight already beat it. The boss node already beat, and that's usually how it is when I enter. So I'm actually not sure what is the best teams, but the good thing about this last boss node here, you could use whatever team. So you could bring in some of your other raid teams, Hive Mind, Extreme, then you could bring in your Spider Society, and then finally use Alpha Flight if you already have them built up from the previous node. So the good thing about this last boss node, you could use multiple teams, and I don't think you even need to play it. I think you, based on what you're doing in Incursion 2.0 or 2.2 or whatever incursion you're doing, I think you could reliably sim this with multiple attacks, especially if you have multiple people attacking that one node. So I don't think the boss node will be too challenging. For this Alpha Flight boss node, obviously you would need to build up Alpha Flight, but I think this is a little easier than the node previous to this, which has not this node here, this one with all these pobs and these kangs. This is probably the most challenging node that I've faced. This one's pretty easy, and once in a while when I do face the boss, it doesn't seem like a big challenge. As far as power level, this is where my Alpha Flight is right now, and they're pretty reliably simming all the way up until whatever node that I need. So they could sim with this level right here if you're looking to sim with your Alpha Flight for some of the previous nodes. As far as counting Spider Society, there's a few teams that you could really overpower and just kill it with this, but I think the most effective use of your Eternals, and obviously you can't punch up too much with this, but it's kind of a punch across. Eternals, Loki, Emma, that gets some speed, and that gets your Cersei to go before Icarus. Also Quicksilver there as well. This is a very good counter for Spider Society. I wouldn't punch up too much with this. Nowhere is also a good counter for Spider Society. Weapon X and Underworld do work against Spider Society, not in the reactor though, and you probably can't punch up too much with those teams. You probably got to punch across or punch down if you're using Weapon X or Underworld, but those are good solutions that aren't using some really overpowered teams to beat that Spider Society. Hello, Valley. I'm curious about the value of the 3 reworked Illuminati members. I won't be spending on any money on any of the new characters, so I'm planning on those. I won't be getting them. Is there enough value in Black Bolt, OG Iron Man, and Mr. Fantastic to build them without a full Illuminati team? I think if you don't have a really good, solid Crucible defense or Crucible offense, you may want to build them up. They can be beaten pretty easily without some of the newer characters, and especially Captain Britain. But if you don't have anything good in Crucible, that may be better than what you have. But if you're a hardcore Crucible player or a serious Crucible player, you probably have enough on offense and defense that you may not want to build them. But let me just say, you know that Illuminati is required for the next legendary, so I'm putting some investment into all of those characters, and I'm doing the one unlock. I'm getting one offer just to get these new characters unlocked, Shuri and Hank Pym. Not necessarily for Captain Britain. I'm kind of in my mind, I'm not going to get Captain Britain. I don't think it's worth the money, but in my mind, I do want to get the next legendary. I do feel that without the next legendary, content on this channel may suffer, so I'm pushing for the next legendary, but I'm not building these characters up for Crucible or the unlock Captain Britain. So if you're in the same mindset as me, then yes, build them up for the next legendary. If you don't have something good on Cosmic Crucible, this may be better than what you have, but for most players, I say you just skip them for Cosmic Crucible and do whatever you want for the next legendary. Valley, my boy, only 3 characters for getting a new big boy Apocalypse after the changes go live. Any idea when these changes will be happening? Also, between Skrull and Apocalypse, who should I be looking to use dark promos on first? Now, as far as what we know about the unlock requirements changing for Apocalypse, all of this so far, as far as the timing of this, the updated requirement changes are arriving soon. That could be a week. That could be a couple weeks. That could be the next update, but hopefully it's sooner rather than later. But like I've said previously, I do appreciate that communicating with us as soon as possible, even if those changes won't go live for a little while. That way people can make a decision if they want to upgrade the characters right now to get Apocalypse, or if they want to wait till the changes go live. I think for most players, you should be waiting till the changes go live. However, there's some players, just having Apocalypse unlocked is going to make enough of a difference to have that unlock right away for you. But as far as what is better, as far as your dark promos for Apocalypse or Super Skrull, well, we see the dark promos for Apocalypse right here. 5,000 to get that 7-star from 6. It is much more expensive for Super Skrull. So just because they're kind of 1A and 1B as far as the value in the game, actually they maybe moved down to 2 with Old Man Logan, and I always forget about Mephisto. So they are very, very good characters in the game. I think they are neck and neck as far as the value. Sometimes Skrull will be a little more value. Sometimes Apocalypse will be a little more valuable. I think Apocalypse is a little better with dealing with Old Man Logan. So I would upgrade Apocalypse over Super Skrull, but they're both going to give you value, especially consider the cost. Upgrading Apocalypse's red stars are a lot cheaper. I would go Apocalypse for this question. All right, and quick answer for the questions about the Spotlight raids and Spider Society. Alpha Flight controls Spotlight 1.2 Bros pretty easily if you can kill something quickly and start debuffing everyone. This also prevents the Black Knights from getting their counter charges. Well, there you have it. Alpha Flight does beat Spotlight 1.2 Bros pretty easily. I'm not sure how big you have to build them up, but I think Apocalypse is worth, or Alpha Flight is worth building for these Spotlight raids, and then hopefully they also give you some value on war defense as well. Merch for money makes easy work of Spider Society, and that is a good thing. However, merch for money makes easy work of everybody, so you may not want to use that team on Spider Society when they be countered by some other characters. But if you're not using merch for money, yes, they will beat Spider Society very, very well. Valley, you know if there are any plans to make the Crimson Mini Uniques more available. That's been my major choke point for getting 4 a day from the raid rewards and occasional pop in the store. Been about done with the regular uniques from all of my Dark Dimension 7 tunes for a while, but just got decided to the daily drip of mini uniques. If you got Dev Ears, Crucible, War Orbs, will be most welcome. Just say, I agree, I want to get these Crimson uniques. I want to get in Dark Dimension 7. However, I think they're looking for a certain number of people to unlock Mephisto. Last week, I hear that number was about 500 or so, and I don't know what number of players they need to unlock Mephisto before they start making that stuff a little more available. So I'm just guesstimating that number for them is 1,000 before they get that a little more available. But whatever that number is, when they reach that number, I think that's when we're going to get more stuff in Crucible and War Orbs. I think they're waiting for that as well. I think they want to still try to sell that. That's why. But yeah, I want that stuff too. I want to finish Dark Dimension 7. It is very, very slow when you're just looking for your raid rewards to upgrade characters. Hey, Valley, hope all is well with you and yours. My question is, when you unlock a new character, what is your process and how fast you level them? Do you do it just by spending a recommended amount of gold, or are you spending per day, which last I checked was about 2 million a day. That number has went up significantly. We were getting a lot more gold in the game. Costs have went up, which kind of it makes it kind of flat for what we're getting, but yeah, we're getting a lot more gold. I think the new what I'm spending per day is about 6 million. I normally go to about that 6 million. And as far as new characters, I'm normally trying to stay within that because there's other things that I need to buy. Buying the Crimson gear in the store every time I see that. Maybe not the uniques, but some of the other pieces, especially the Catalyst. So I'm not trying to go above 6 million. I want to try to maximize these rewards. However, certain characters, my most recent example, North Star, taking him to level 100 right away. I needed him for a Crucible matchup, so I built him up right away. But normally I'm building these up in advance. Right now, working on the Illuminati, and as you can see, Shuri is level 85, so slowly building her, slowly building the rest of the Illuminati. I don't think I'm going to need them for a while because, like I said, my goal is not really Captain Britain. It is whatever the next legendary unlock is. So I'm building them very slowly right now, and that is how I build most characters, brother. Morning, Valley. Hope your weekend went well. Can you explain how arena shards work? Are they by commander level, region, location, account number. Thank you in advance. Wish you the best of luck in the Envoy Cosmic Crucible tournament. So as far as one of these, I think what it would be is account number. And the reason for that is, let's say there is a certain number in each arena shard. Let's say, for example, that number is 10,000, and I'm just using that number off the top of my head, and devs have never actually revealed the actual number in arena shard. But let's say that number is 10,000. Player 1 that first started all the way to 10,000 will be in that first arena shard. Players 10,001 will be in the next arena shard, and it'll keep going like that. So every 10,000 will be placed in arena shard. And again, that number is just an example. I don't know what the actual number is, but that is the way arena shards work. And because it's based on when you start playing, that is based on your account number, because that is how account numbers, I believe, are distributed. So nothing to do with the commander level, nothing to do with your region, nothing to do with your location. Now, your location may change the timing of your arena payout, but it's not going to change the arena shard. And unfortunately, we've asked players that come back, the devs aren't willing to change the arena shard. So that is why sometimes it's better to stay where you are in the game and use your old account, but sometimes it's better to start up a new account. So it is definitely by your account number, which translates to when you start playing. That is it for your questions of the mailbag, but let me know where you think Odin, Gladiator, and GORR the God Butcher will be used. What game mode and what team? Will they be in the same team or some separate teams? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Thank you to each and every one of you that left a mailbag question, and hopefully you got some value from this video. And if you did, leave it a like. It is free for you. It tremendously helps out the YouTube algorithm. And if you want to see what are the best characters to use your dark promos and dark diamonds on right now, check out the video up there, and I'll see you guys next time. Have a great rest of your day. Hulk fist bump, ValleyFlyin out.